I did The Good Wife with Mike Coulter, right?
Okay.
Before he got Luke Cage. So probably the third time we shot an episode, I said, bro, they're shooting Luke Cage. He's like, they are? I said, you better tell your agent to get up on that. And then
You are the best kept secret in the universe.
okay. Yo, what's up? This your boy Brick City's finest, J.D. Williams. You might recognize me from The Wire or Oz or Saints and Sinners on Bounce, or as Froggy and Pootie Tang, or you know what? I'm gonna just stop naming stuff, but you might recognize me. But anyway, I'm right here chilling with the BKS podcast. Y'all know what it is. Chilling with the homies. We doing it big. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. One love.
All right, man. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the BKS Experience. I'm yours truly, Mr. Live to Inspire, Eddie Brown.
And I am celebrity photographer Ty Waterman. And oh yeah, before we get started, make sure you click that like, drop a comment, and subscribe, because that's the only way we know that you're following us. But aside from that, we got another big one for you today. We got this dude who I like to think of him as a magical brother. He done went to the land of Oz, traveled out on the wire, and now resides amongst the saints and the sinners. I got my man, J.D. Williams. What is good, my brother?
Salute. Thank you for having me. I appreciate y'all. You know, we met where we met, but I appreciate just to reach out and us making this happen, you know, just to have a good conversation, you know, share some energy and just go into it.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, we got footage of you. It's in the lost archives, trapped in a box somewhere. That's why I was like, we gotta make this happen again.
Right.
And then hopefully we'll make it happen again. But
For sure.
Let's get right down to it. So my first actual introduction to you, it was a little weird. I'm clicking TV late night, and the show that was gritty about jail pops on my screen. And this character named Kenny Wangler, who was about my age, was locked in with some of these killers. Oh my God, these crazy folks. It was scary because it was like watching what goes on in jail, but it was in a drama form.
Happy birthday to me. Happy motherfucking birthday to me. Happy birthday
to Kenny. Happy birthday to you.
Right. I was thoroughly impressed with you and your character. How did that come to be? How did you become Kenny Wangler?
All right. I'll try to not take too long because, you know, obviously the story got a lot of little details. But coming from Newark, New Jersey, I went to Arts High School, downtown Newark. A lot of people came from Arts High School: Tisha Campbell, Savion Glover, Sarah Vaughn, Mike B, obviously, Kat DeLuna. It's so many people. It's so many singers and performers and dancers that came from the school. But anyway, just excuse me, going on my auditions for certain things. The Oz audition came up, and it was a wild audition. I'm fresh out of theater school, so my audition was all extra. So that's why they hired me, because I did something really unconventional during the audition. But that's only because I was focused on the acting more so than staying in front of the camera so they can record me. Yeah. and the casting director, she found that I guess she found it refreshing, you know. And the way I did it, you know, and I didn't stop, I didn't hesitate. So yeah, that caught her attention. I actually threw myself off camera and just kept going during an audition. So it was what it was. But she hired me, Alexa Fogel, great, one of the greatest casting directors, I have to say, not just because she's hired me multiple times, but because of the casts that she does put together are legendary. Like, and I don't even use that word lightly. So anyway, I got hired casting that through Alexa Fogel, through an audition where I went a little wild, and I met the writers right beforehand. My final audition was with the writer, Tom Fontana, Alexa, and a couple of the producers. Barry Levinson might have actually been in the room, and I might have been just too young to really zoom in on him, but he also produced he co-produced Oz also. So yeah, so just coming from a theater school, hitting those auditions real hard and getting the right ones and showing out. That's basically how Oz came about, but it was all kind of a momentum thing, you know?
Yeah.
So
I read somewhere that for The Wire, you spent some time on the streets trying to prepare for that role. How was it preparing for Oz versus preparing for being the man that is synonymous in these streets for loyalty, Bodie?
And you know I did, because you the one that popped me with a G-Pack on my way to the spot and let me go, remember?
You were selling drugs in Major Colvin's free zone? You can prove that.
Ask him, he know. And this must be one of them contraptment things.
You mean entrapment?
Kid's got a point.
well, one of the things about I realized about Oz early is that, you know, Oz is more, like you said, it's more of a drama, it's dramatized, and it's more of a soap opera. Mm-hmm. You know, it's more of a melodrama. So even though the topic itself is prison, which is something people can relate to, which, you know, lends itself to having like a lot of serious topics, Oz was more based on the drama and the spectacle of the characters, you know. Mm-hmm. So it had limits. It limited itself in that regard. You know, it just wanted to tell a story. You know, it wasn't about the authenticity of the story. Whereas The Wire was more about being as close to authenticity as it could get. You know, so that was the difference in preparation. Was with doing Oz was more like doing a play, and Oz is actually written like a play if you know it. Right. You know, you have the Greek chorus, which is Hill in the wheelchair. Then you have, you know, how we, you know, us, the players do all of the other stuff around that and the wrap around. So Oz was really structured a lot like a Greek tragedy, like a play anyway. So it was more like preparing for Oz was more like theater, and preparing for The Wire, I mean, I guess you would say it was more modernized. It was more of a movie, television, you know, / more modernized aspect to preparing for it, like I said, because we were trying to be more realistic, because it was based off of real things, you know. About that night, that research that I did, what happened was, I mean, I don't have a problem going to any hood if I have time and moving around and just seeing how it goes. But I had got into Baltimore at about, I don't know, it was like nighttime already, and I had to be on set early in the morning, and I had never walked around Baltimore. And I was like, I already see this character that I'm playing. I don't want anybody, whether it's somebody on set or somebody just yelling at me from across the street, to be able to say, you never even walked around Baltimore. You know, you don't know nothing about Baltimore. So I put my bags down in the hotel room, blacked myself out, threw my hoodie on, and I just started walking. And, you know, it was probably midnight when I started walking. So, and I said I had to do it. But I just took my Newark, I'm from Newark, New Jersey, put my Newark on my chest, and, you know, just stepped out. I mean, bad is bad. You know what I'm saying? As long as you don't get caught, you'll be all right. You know?
I'm like, why did you do that? I mean, you from the hood, it makes sense, but you also know, don't be walking in anybody's hood. As soon as they stop you.
I wasn't doing it with, you know, loud colors, with my headphones on, you know, moonwalking down the street or nothing like that. You know, I moved properly, you know, and as safely as I had learned that I could, in order to get what I needed to get. I mean, and I probably was only out there maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours. Like I said, I just had to go until I saw enough. I wasn't testing myself to do any type of vigilante stuff or nothing like that. I was just, I just wanted to get enough of the feeling of the city for myself so that I can start building on that tomorrow on the first day on set.
Definitely.
You hear that a lot with actors prepping. Like,
I'm not a method actor though.
Yeah, because that part, like I was reading about Shia LaBeouf for that new movie he did, where they say them tattoos is real. I don't know if it is, but he seemed like the type that would go that route, you know?
He is the type. But a lot of people, you know, I think method acting takes a lot of different type of mental space. So people that have that type of space to do those types of things, do those type of things. I know I got family I want to go home to in one piece, you know, so, you know, I don't really play around with it like that too much.
Definitely. Let's go back a little bit. You mentioned theater school. So what was that initial spark where you saw that, you know, theater, acting, this is what I really want to do? When did that start?
Well, I grew up with mostly with a single mom, even though, you know, I lived with a bunch of my family. I grew up with my grandmother through my, you know, formative years as far as, you know, all of high school. I moved around with a lot of my family, but, you know, when you have a single mom, you always go back to your mom and your mom moving around and so forth and so on. So when I was with my mom, I would have to go to, you know, a different school probably like every year, just because she just liked to move around a lot. She just couldn't sit still. And one year I actually went to 3 different schools in one semester. So that's how much I was moving around at the time and getting exposure and just seeing different places. I went to a Jewish school for a little while. I went to, you know, of course I went to the hood, all black schools looking like West Side Story and shit. Like I done been everywhere, you know. So getting to an art school, what sparked it for me was like moving around, going to different schools. It was a way that I had to get cool within that new community real quick without, you know, causing a problem or doing something crazy or whatever. And a lot of times, and as I figured out my process, every time I would go to a new place, I would see what was the correlation, what was this, what was that. Okay, well, you know, certain types of clubs, certain types of groups, certain types of things would happen. And acting and writing and, you know, just performing, just really being on stage, because I would go to a school and not even have to act. And the next week I could be the brand new kid in the school. And the next week I would be like reading all the announcements at assembly or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's like, who is this kid? You know, but that's where it came from. So the spark came from, you know, moving around a lot, being in different places and having to basically adapt, you know, and get in where I fit in. I'm not a super tall dude, you know, I'm not a super, you know, whatever, muscular dude. So it's like I'm kind of middle of the road. So I had to figure out my way in everywhere without having to fight my way in everywhere. You know?
That's dope, because sometimes that could be not helpful versus it was actually helpful for you, versus sometimes when, you know, moving to different locations, it could be really a conflict and kind of draw your attention to so many different places where you get tired of moving. So it was good that it was creative.
That goes into also the environment and the experience you have around you. Like my mom wasn't beating me down, you know, my family wasn't beating me down. So just me, anybody outside of them couldn't beat me down. Like, of course, you know, when we was kids, of course we got bullies, we got dudes jumping us in the street, we got, you know, regular stuff, just stuff that kids do. But I wasn't affected by childish things that much as a kid. You know, I like my video games. I grew up in a pool hall / arcade. Like my dad owned that. Like I came back to that. I always been into technology. I like to have fun. I play sports. You know, I dance a little bit. Well, I used to anyway, not like professionally, but you know, we had fun back in the day. Fun was fun.
But you was out there doing all that.
Word up. I never used to let nobody take that from me. No matter if I look like Doogie Howser with a kid and play flat top and Urkel glasses, I ain't never let nobody bother me. You know what I'm saying? So that takes a certain type of confidence, a certain type of strength within itself. So yeah, a lot of people do get broken down by things outside, but I had a good core, a good family that was always, you know, supportive of me in one way or another, even if that was just being quiet, you know? And so when I got to school, you know, people my age couldn't affect me, you know, unless they was teaching me something, you know? So that was how I never came out of any of that bitter. I always used to see the opportunities to learn something or be a part of something or be involved in something. And that's just how I took it, man. I mean, you know, like the whole philosophy is like, you're going to be glass half empty, half full. But that metaphor extends so far. Like some people don't have a glass. Some people don't have any water. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, you know?
Yeah, I was reading, first of all, when we talk about like the casting director, I've noticed a lot of the people that were on shows like Oz and The Wire have gone on and done some amazing things, including yourself, whether it's Michael K. Williams or Michael B. Jordan. And I was like just dumbfounded when I would watch a show and be like, wait, I know him from here or I know him from there. And usually it was all from that one spark. So for you, what was it like the first time you saw yourself on screen? And is that something you do where you like to watch your work, or do you stay away from your work?
Well, to what you were saying, yeah, like I'll joke around, but it's kind of true. I'll be saying you can't have a hit series without somebody from The Wire on it right now. So that's kind of on Smash a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But me, like I said, I started out as pretty much a theater actor, so it is all most of the time for me. It's about the process. Now, when I do something, of course, you know, I want to see it, and I have to watch it to study it and be like, all right, next time move this way, or don't do that, or that looked weird, or you know, somebody might bring it up to me and say, oh, I just watched that, and I might, you know, I want to know what they're talking about. So I'll watch my stuff maybe once.
Yeah.
If it's something that I really like or something that I feel like I have to study, I might watch it once or twice, you know, but usually I just check my stuff out like one time, and then it's pretty much stuck in my head because I also, you know, saw it in real life. So once I know what take they use, it's pretty much stuck in my head. So I might watch my stuff like one time, and then that's pretty much, I don't actively avoid my stuff, but you know, it is what it is. And like I said, it goes back to being about the process, because it's a lot of times where there's so much stuff that I do because you know, I want to work, I like to act, I like to just stay busy, but I forget a lot of the stuff that I did, man, honestly. Like until somebody brings it up to me right then, and I'll be like, yeah, I did squeeze that in there, didn't I? So, you know, it's just it's all about the process, you know. And I have actually all this time, I still haven't stopped and taken a break for an actual vacation yet.
Mm.
So
Mm.
we still going, man, still
Yeah.
going.
That's dope. That's dope, man.
Mm.
So speaking of process, now what advice would you give for those, you know, aspiring actors or people coming up? Some of them probably maybe mistakes you made, or during that process, something that you know, would take back and do over again, or you know, for those future aspiring actors, so they won't make those same mistakes.
Well, as far as mistakes, I guess the really the only mistake you can make in the entertainment industry is being late.
Mm.
That's pretty much it. If you're on time, that's like most of the money right there. So they barely care about what you do after that. You know, if it's great, it's great. But at least you showed up, you got on there. But basically, my most basic advice, and this is for anybody in any career, but I tell, you know, actors and people that want to do anything all the time. And I learned this from my father, who was a huge drug dealer when I was born, fell off, recovered, and now he owns like a huge business. And so, you know, he knows what he's talking about. And even when he was down, his advice was still valid. And this is what he said. He said, you have to be persistent and consistent. You know, you got to hit the same spot the same way every time, because you're going to break through, you know, eventually. And I added this on to that saying, because whether you break through or not, you still get in practice, and practice makes you a master, you know? So it's about that consistency. It's about setting that standard for yourself. It's about that, you know, that discipline. And it doesn't have to be a lot of discipline. It just has to be that type of commitment, because a lot of people start things. I got family members. I got friends that I know that act. I got friends that I know that do so much music. I'm pretty sure you guys know people that want to do things, and they'll start it, and they might say like, oh, well, I did it for this amount of time, and then they quit. And you like, that wasn't no time, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And especially in relation to what their talent might be. You might know somebody that's dumb talented, and they might have been like, yeah, well, I did it for 6 months. I did it for a year. You like, bro, no, you gotta do it for real. And on top of that, you need to stop doing that other thing you're doing. I got a friend that's a great theater actor, very popular. And he wants to do television and movies more, but I keep telling him, you're not gonna have time for auditions for TV and movies, or time to do the TV and movies if you keep doing theater, because theater is 6 days a week, bro. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You rehearse even when you still got to perform, you know, on that day. Like, I only do plays like maybe once every 3 years, because I know how much time it takes to do it. Mm-hmm. But you can't be a great theater actor, active theater actor, and want to do television or other things. It takes too much time. And that's with anything. Certain things, especially if you have the gift, certain things you have to really put your eggs in that basket and focus on that, because that energy is going to come to you, you know?
Definitely.
So now when we're looking at like everything you've done, you're currently doing Saints and Sinners.
You can't keep this up, Jabari. The flip side of all of this violence is the loss of a lot of friends. Losing your dad taught me that.
I'm not my pops, okay? I can't go back to working for Rex, and I can't go back to being broke either. I gotta be my own man.
Now, I literally just started Saints and Sinners, and I started on the 4th season, right?
Okay.
And I was impressed with going back to that cast and the big names that's on there. And I'm looking at like all these different people, but the one that caught me by surprise was one of your fellow castmates from The Wire.
Trey.
Poop.
Yep. Yeah.
So how often do you get to work? I know in the night of Michael K. Williams was on there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now you're on Saints and Sinners.
We're almost always gonna cross-pollinate, because actually when we first finished The Wire, I used to actively avoid doing certain things, because sometimes they would have like 3 and 4 of us in one show. And, you know, God blessed me that I had other things to also be doing. And I could also say, no, I don't want to do that just yet, or I want to do this. But it was a lot of times where I'd be like, yeah, I already know people going to want to keep lumping us in together to get that energy from us. And then we started to, you know, it started to spread out a little bit. But we always going to crisscross each other. You know, me and Trey, we probably, before we got back to this show, he and I probably did like 2 or 3 other independent films together where we ran into each other, and one of them I was producing. So, you know, so certain times we're gonna, you know, we are just gonna just cross paths every now and then. But Trey Chaney actually came in on the 1st season in the last episode. And yeah, so he called me and he said, hey, you know about this show Saints and Sinners? They just called and asked me if I want to be on it. So obviously that was a very deliberate lateral move that they made. And they got that off because it works. You know, him and I got to do a lot of interaction. I think it was the 2nd year we got to do a lot together. 3rd year, he got off on his own story. 4th year, I went back to my story. So, and the show is still going strong. We're in the 5th year right now, and that's the blessing. It's rare. It's a brand new drama on a pretty much a, you know, a young network, Bounce TV, and the people are supporting it, and that's the dopest thing about it. So,
for somebody who hasn't seen it before, can you just give us a small synopsis and let them know why they need to watch Saints and Sinners?
Oh, all right. Well, Saints and Sinners is a melodrama based in Atlanta, Georgia, and it's just about how this one community, Cypress, Georgia, which is overall church-based, faith-based community, and all of the backstabbing and raggedy stuff they do to each other. And it's just like, I would call it ratchet if everything wasn't so nice looking. But yeah, we get into, like I said, it's this very melodrama, a lot of soap opera, and a lot of spectacle for people who like that. It's basically a black novella.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, like
I was drawn in. Now I just need to find time in my little quarantine bubble to add that to my list of things.
Well, I mean, also beyond the storyline, just for people to know, we got Clifton Powell, we got Vanessa Bell Calloway, Jasmine Burke, Christian Keys, Trey Chaney, myself, Keith Robinson. You know, so it's a bunch of and mad guest stars. Like, y'all don't even know. You said you ain't even see like a lot of stuff. Like the first year we had like a bunch of black guest stars that, you know, just people that we know in the community. You might see Kiki Wyatt, David Banner, Candy Burris came through, Tammy Roman came through, Tank came through. I'm blanking on, I know my man's name who played Kane in Menace to Society. but he came
Tyron
through.
Turner.
Tyron Turner, thank you. Yes, and you know, but we have a lot of Roger Gouverneur Smith came through last year.
Don't
You know, so
y'all got Beyonce's stepdaddy on there.
oh yeah, well he was in the first episode. He kicked the whole thing off because I mean it's not a spoiler because it's gonna start off, but he's the basis of the first mystery of the first season. He gets killed in the beginning.
Now you spoiled it. I told you I started on the 4th. For me,
it's okay, but you didn't listen to anything. Trust me.
Okay.
No, when it comes on, that's the first thing you see.
Okay.
Like,
I'm good there. I'm all right.
As soon as it comes on, that's the first thing you see. And now you got to figure out why you're not gonna be expecting to see him be in those scenes. He gets shot right away. Yeah. I ain't spoiling nothing.
Now you named a lot of heavy hitters now. Who would be somebody that you would look forward to working with maybe in the future, or you have had on your mind like, yo, this is on my list. I would love to work with this person.
I mean, that's a that's a long list, man. But you know, like if I just had to call off the top of my head, Don Cheadle, Jeffrey Wright, Don Cheadle, Jeffrey Wright. I wouldn't mind working with Shia LaBeouf. I would like to see dude's process. He wild, you know. I like how he do. I like Giovanni Ribisi. I like Gordon Joseph Levitt. He's fire. You know, so it's just people that I like to have a certain presence and an aura that I would love to work. Of course, you know, Jamie Foxx, Leo, Will, you know, you could throw all of the main guys up on there too. But, you know, it's dudes that I see that, you know, just go hard in everything they do, and whether they playing character actors or whether they just get respect for just doing what they do. It's like a lot of people, of course, I keep my eye on, you know. Chadwick would have been one of those people, of course, you know. So, yeah, definitely. And so yeah, and that's another thing about the industry, especially if you are blessed enough, you always look at it more as a competition, you know, not in a way like somebody's in your way and you have to beat them, yet that you have to keep your station going just as strong as somebody else's. You have to play your lane, you have to play your role, your part, you know, so that when you do come up against that person for that role, you know, you could put your best foot forward. It could be a fair fight, quote unquote, you know? And so, yeah, it's just always like for me about trying to stay on a certain level to where when I do get around them, if they do know me, they know me for a good reason. And if they don't know me, they're going to see me real quick.
Nice.
Yeah. So I have this brand new cup or mug. I don't know if you can see it. It says, name your top 5 R&B singers. Name your top 5 R&B songs, and name your top 5 R&B albums. So this is not a part of the trivia we're going to do, but this cup was brought to you by the guy that made the trivia called Pull Your Card.
Oh, that's fire though.
And I'm drinking water from Ounce Water. I don't know if you heard of Ounce Water. This is the 40. This is by actor Theo Rossi. He basically sponsored us and gave us a couple things of water, so we've been drinking water for the summer. And I bring this up not just to plug them, but to say that, you know, these are people that they're in different walks of life. My man, I forget what he does. I think it's insurance. Theo, an actor. So they've partaked in the whole, you know, entrepreneurship, ownership over something. And me and you had a discussion about something that you were telling me that you kind of jumped into with entrepreneurship. Can you talk about that a little bit for the people?
Are we talking about the t-shirts?
The comic thing.
Well, see, I would call that investing because I did it so long ago. But yes, definitely that is my money. So, but yeah, he's bringing up the fact that I am a part owner in a comic book store in Newark, New Jersey, called the Fortress of Solitude. It's at 52 University Avenue, right next to Brick Church Station. It's been around for years. It was actually called One Flight Up when I was a kid. It moved from Market Street, and it's been around for going on 25 years. Well, it has to be 30 years now. Yeah, like 30 years now. Wow. And luckily the owner saw me grow up in there and gave me and then saw me go on to do the things that I've done. And so he gave me a chance to, you know, buy in and invest. So if anybody, and so yes, that's one of the things. And then also there's a restaurant. I'm a part owner in Newark, New Jersey, also downtown Newark, New Jersey. I think it's 572 Broad Street. It's called La Rouge, and it's a restaurant / lounge / club. So yeah, like you said, it's about diversifying, especially like it's because it's so easy to do things now. It's easy to look up where to get 40-ounce bottles and how to bottle some water. You know, it's easier to do that now. It's easier to say, okay, I could get mugs made, you know, like, and I brought up the t-shirt thing because I also am starting like a graphic t-shirt company. So
Okay.
yeah, so it's like these ideas, especially, you know, you're an artistic person or whatever it is, you know, they're easier to, you know, pump out, whether you just want to do them for yourself to get them out or whether you actually gonna, you know, start investing and selling in those things. But these ideas can come to fruition easier. So yeah, people that have those kind of thoughts that fall out, we're gonna let them fall out.
What kind of t-shirts?
It's graphic tees. I would have had one. I think I got one over here somewhere. Maybe I'll pull it out before we get out. But the first design is me.
Okay.
Looking like probably Bodie to everybody, but it has the quote, "The game is rigged," on it.
You're going to have to send us some shirts so we could rock them. You see, this is,
Yeah,
I put this on because of comics, so I don't know if you get it.
Something real quick. There you go. I got one. I found one. I got a shirt, and I got also, I had masks made also.
Nice.
But I'm not gonna go digging for the masks right now. But here's a shirt, and I have more that's gonna come through the line and everything.
Okay.
So
The game is rigged.
yep. And I was like I said, I did a test run on them, did really well, and I'm gonna make sure when I do the next run, I'm gonna make sure that they're steadily available because I did a limited run. But I sold a nice amount. People showed me so much love to come and get them. And so, yeah, but all the ideas we have, you know, obviously we can manifest them. So,
well, we definitely need some. So you got to send it. We'll definitely rock them.
Yeah.
All right, you got to talk to Bernadette, but she might be mad because she still didn't get hers yet.
She like, nah.
Well, you get
gotta be
hers first, and then we
See?
you know, you slide us some. We Gucci.
I got you.
But it's very inspiring to hear, you know, these full circle moments because, you know, a lot of times you get into the industry and it's just, I'm focusing on my career. I'm just doing my thing, but actually going back and investing in yourself and just hearing you say that you went back to that comic store that you grew up in, you know, and they remembered you giving back and planting that seed. Just your whole perspective on people, you know, really just solely giving back and really invested in themselves and the importance of that, just something to have of your own.
Yeah, well, like it has to be personal. You know, people are not going to care about things if it's not personal to them, if it doesn't affect them, if it's not something that they understand. And that's not an easy thing for everybody to get a grasp of, like what they really love, what they really care about, you know? I mean, obviously that's one of the hardest questions that any human being has to answer is like, who are you, right?
Right.
So, yeah, but it's a matter of people just doing that. I'll tell you this, like, it's like this, like, let's say and this happens all the time. I'll go into a strip club, right? And I'll start talking to a girl and I'll say, well, what else do you do other than dance, obviously, right? And so many times the answer is nothing else. So then I'll start asking the question. I say, well, do you write? And then somebody will be like, oh yeah, I do write. Or do you sing? Oh yeah, I sing. Oh, well, do you know, so people don't really put themselves in that category where their talents are talents, you know? Sometimes people just do things like, yeah, I take pictures, but I just take pictures for myself. And they won't call themselves a photographer, you know?
Right.
When it's someone with the same level of skill or probably less than you that has went farther, you know? So how can you not title yourself what you are or what you want to be? And that's what a lot of people, they don't give themselves that respect. So, I mean, I think if I'm trying to get back to your question, I try to exude or try to express that to people that, you know, a lot of times what you consider a talent or what you may not even consider a talent is what you should be doing, what you should monetize, what you should figure out how to get into it. Just because you conceited as hell, you probably be a good stylist, you know? Figure it out. Figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, but it's there for everybody. But like I said, the first thing is for people to really, you know, obviously figure themselves out and be honest with themselves and say, all right, this is what I want to do. You know, most pimps would be good managers. You know, we might not like them,
right?
But I bet you they get all the results. You know, but just so happened that they couldn't get, you know, legit jobs, and they out on the street making people do stuff they don't want to do. You know, so life is life.
Today, before I was getting on here, my little news feed, something popped up, and I just started laughing. It was basically ranking the best storylines on The Wire. And coming in at number 2, technically, is you. It's called The Many Tests of Loyalty. It has a picture of you hanging out there on the block. And it speaks of the different loyalty tests that goes on. But I guess the number 1 in that category is definitely you, because you stayed true, you know, through the end until the very end. When they tested you, you were loyal to your people, you know, your real people. And I was like, wow, the fact that here we are, how many years later, that you're still coming up. So this is on screenrant.com. You're still coming up. So the work that you've done is timeless, and I think that is amazing. We definitely looking forward to whatever else you got going on. So what are you doing currently, and what future plans do you have?
Okay. Well, number 1, that is definitely you correct on that, because the blessing of it being timeless, because somebody finds The Wire every day. Like, somebody finds it, and if they don't find it, somebody is pushing The Wire on one of their friends. It's in certain colleges as courses for socioeconomics and stuff. So yeah. And then like you said, for my character to have, you know, the significance that he had, you know, I realize that, and I really do appreciate that. But sometimes even I'm wondering why people asking me about political things, and then I forget, oh yeah, Bodie. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's sometimes you think about things in that certain way. But coming up next, like I said, we got Corona time, but this is season 5 of Saints and Sinners on Bounce. I'm always making my own little projects, and I'm always producing things. I have this little project with my homeboy called Perfect Odds that we just work on just to keep ourselves sharp. Saints and Sinners might be coming with a special present after this season. I don't know if I'm supposed to tell everybody or not, but I'm pretty sure y'all could probably guess it by me talking about it like this. So, but yeah, Saints and Sinners is supposed to have a special little something presentation after this season. And then, I mean, you know, actors, we don't usually talk about jobs before we get them, because we don't really want to jinx ourselves. Right. But a certain show that is very, you know, that is being acclaimed a lot right now did call to check on my availability. Okay. And so hopefully, you know, you guys see me on that soon. I'm not gonna tell you what show it is, but I tell you 50 Cent produces it.
Okay. Right. Yeah, that's
excited
powerful.
To see. I'm gonna be looking for, I'm definitely be excited to look for that.
That's dope. Like, okay.
That's powerful.
Wow. So all right, we're gonna get ready to get into the thing. Just a few things I gotta ramble off before. Bodie, to me, was a samurai in the hood. You know, samurais are loyal.
I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima right now.
Oh, and I was gonna get into that. Video games. What you rocking? What system you plan on getting?
Well, right now I'm on PS4 down here. I mean, I ain't travel all the way down to Atlanta with everything I have, but I got my PS4. I got my VR.
How you like
right
that VR?
now? Yeah, I like my VR, but you just can't play VR for a long time because it's exhausting.
Okay.
It's tiring, bro. It is tiring. It'll have you worn out. But I got that. Right now, I mean, I play a lot of retro stuff, and I try to keep up with the new stuff. Like, of course, I'm not a big Call of Duty person, but I check it out to see how it is and make sure I'm up on it. Fall Guys is out right now. It looks like a kid's game, but it's like this. It's weird. Like, it's so like I try to stay abreast of everything. I stay abreast of the multiplayer stuff. Of course, I got my single player games. I went out and bought this Ghost of Tsushima. I didn't play Last of Us 2 yet. I'm waiting for them to see if they come out with some type of DLC.
Yeah.
Before I go get it. But I'm into like I said, all types of games, man, and I do this thing. Of course, I'm gonna get a PS5 when it drops.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
you know, what's that, like November or something?
Yep. They got their thing this week. I'm gonna slide my my little PSN thing over to you so that way you can add me on there, maybe
No doubt.
cross connect
No
with
doubt.
some games. But
Let's do
with
it.
all of that said, you know what time it is? It's time to pull your card. This is the pull your card hip hop edition right here. It's an actual game. I'm not pulling your card on that one.
Okay.
Literally. Brought to you by my man Harold Lee. And we about to get into it. I specifically picked out certain things for you because I want to
Okay.
make it fair and easy.
All right. I told you, man. This is what I do. I'm the one that's
All
gonna
right.
go on Jeopardy and win the $1 million.
I hope so. But if you don't, we're gonna pull your card. You better not be
All right.
be out of the hip hop game. Don't do no movies involving hip hop.
Okay. Come on. I ain't worried
All
about it. I
right.
was born in 78 in Newark, New Jersey in the
Okay.
projects. I'm good.
Okay, here we go. So each episode title of the TV series Marvel's Luke Cage is a song by which hip hop
Biggie.
group? Let me finish.
Okay.
That's when you know he hot.
Now that don't mean he hot. Trust me. This could be a trick question. So each episode's title of the TV series Marvel's Luke Cage is a song by which hip hop group? Remember, we're talking about the title of each episode.
Group?
Yep. So the title of each
Wait, you
episode.
talking about the second season? First
each
season?
episode. We'll say first season, but the title of each episode.
Oh wait, it was the first, because I'm trying to remember what the title was. Was the first season Wu-Tang? Wait,
I'm gonna give you multiple choice.
give me one of the titles and I'll tell you who it was.
Here's multiple choice. Is it A, Gangsta?
No. Just tell me a title.
I don't got that up on here.
All right, then go ahead. Give me the multiple choice then. Give me the multiple choice then.
All right. A, Gangstar. B, Public Enemy. C, The Diplomats. Or D, Wu-Tang.
It was Wu-Tang.
Unfortunately, it wasn't.
All right.
Gangstar. Oh, you got. I'm gonna give you a bonus
It
one.
was an episode. Wait, man. It was an episode called Mass Appeal. Really?
I'm reading the cards, brother.
Okay.
I'm reading the cards.
All right. I'll take that one. I'll take that L. I'll take that one.
Go take it up with management.
I'll take that one. I'm gonna go look though.
You do it because I'm gonna pull it up too. I don't like to look bad on my own show.
Gangstar. It was Gangstar, wasn't it? I don't know
Here
why.
we go.
I'm thinking about. I saw an episode called Protect Your Neck, but I guess it was an episode called Mass Appeal, huh?
Here we go.
Let's do it.
3 6 Mafia won an Oscar for a track on this movie's soundtrack. Is it A? There you go. I don't even gotta say it.
Gotta redeem myself on that one.
Okay. Here we go. Here's another one. Shaolin Fantastic is a character on this Netflix series co-executive produced by Nas. Is it A, Afro Samurai, B, The Black Dynamite, C, The Boondocks, or D, The Get Down?
It gotta be The Get Down.
It gotta be right.
Yeah.
All right. You're making up. We're gonna go a little old school, Mr. 78. Here we go. Turbo and Ozone were characters in which 80s movie?
Breaking.
Yes, it is Breaking. All right. Here we go. Which artist starred in the movie Juice? Let me say it before you, because I might not say
Really? Really? This better be a trick question, bro. This has to be a trick question. Go ahead.
A, Common, B, Ice Cube, C, LL Cool J, or D, go ahead and say it.
I should get it wrong just on purpose, right?
And nah, don't get it wrong.
It's Pac, man. Tupac, bro. Tupac.
All right. So I'm gonna keep. I got a couple more. Usually we stop at 5, but since you messed that up, I'm gonna just.
We good. I'm good.
Which hip hop group starred in the 1992 movie Class Act? A, Kid and Play.
Kid and Play.
B. All right, this is the
I told you I had a
last
kid
one.
play flat top a little while ago.
Mr. No Finish, he got the answers, bro.
This is the last one. And side story, us sharing the same light skin complexion. They used to call me kid because I had the high top.
See,
So,
that's how we do.
78 babies. That's how we roll. All right, here's your final one. This is your bonus one. All right.
Let's go. Let's go.
Snoop Dogg made his first record appearance on this movie's soundtrack. Is it A, Boys in the Hood?
Which starred Lawrence Fishburne and Jeff Goldblum.
We gotta get this man we gotta get this man an award for just knowing him off the top.
My brother. That trick one, I should have saved the
that one for last.
But you did
but look,
great.
all right, I got a way to get that point back for that first one though.
How you gonna do that?
I did The Good Wife with Mike Coulter, right?
Okay.
Before he got Luke Cage. So probably the third time we shot an episode, I said, bro, they're shooting Luke Cage. He's like, they are? I said, you better tell your agent to get up on that. And then we had probably like a 2 to 3 months break before we went back to The Good Wife. And he had got Luke Cage. And I was like, bro, didn't I tell you was Luke Cage? Because you already look like him.
That's dope.
That's dope.
And so, so, I mean, I'm pretty sure that if he would have got the audition without me mentioning it, he would have got it anyway. But I definitely told him he was going to be Luke Cage before he was Luke Cage.
That's dope. So normally when we do these, we started putting a little graphic that says perfect score, but we can't do that. But what I'm gonna tell my editor to do is put on fire. Because you was on fire, baby. And if we ever get to do like a tournament of cats who coming on top, you definitely be up there on top.
I'm waiting for the R&B one too. I'm gonna get you the R&B one would have been easier.
We'll see. But we definitely gonna do that. Theo Rossi of Sons of Anarchy, and he got some other stuff. He came out with a top score, and he actually threw out a challenge for other cats. So maybe I could hook something up, have y'all come on, and we challenge both of y'all. We see who got that fire.
Let's do it, bro. Let's do it.
All right, my
Sons of
brother.
Anarchy burst the wire.
Listen, there you go. I'm around for it. Any last words for the people out there?
Well, first off, I want to thank you guys for having me on. I really appreciate y'all. Y'all keep doing y'all thing because this is the space we in now, and the more you invest yourself, the more it just creates this space for not just you, but for everybody else. So I want to say I appreciate y'all for doing what y'all doing. Thanks for having me on. Hopefully I'll be back soon. And to everybody out there, like I said before, be consistent and persistent. Learn yourself before you go out and try to learn anything else. And, trying to be patient always works. So I wish everybody the best. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. One love.